Next, Jody, we're going to start with you. We only have time for one or two more questions. With the county in tough financial times, how can we afford to fund the new Steiner Shopping Center in Liberty?
That is a very, very good question. Very, very good. Apparently it's coming from tax increment financing. If you all take a look at the county budget as I have, you'll see that there are a lot of pilots, payments in lieu of taxes, that are coming from tax increment financing in residential incentive districts. Apparently we're going to be contributing some amount of money from an already existing tax increment financing situation, and that is as it may be. There are projected jobs, supposedly, and that's great. I hope we don't cannibalize Bridgewater Falls. I hope we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. I hope this is a net plus. Some of the details, I suppose, will emerge because it's apparently on track to happen, as are the improvements around the 129 area there, 129 and Sunday Road. We'll see. As far as, at least I hope that's the development of which you were speaking, and I'm going to swing back to the immigration issue very briefly, which is we really need to address why people are coming here, aside from just drug trafficking. They come here for jobs. I hired someone to fix my roof, and somebody from Butler County, and brown people speaking Spanish showed up at my house. Are we providing a draw? This is a question we can talk about very realistically. Thank you.
Pertaining to the development, that's TIF money, which can only be spent for infrastructure in that particular area. If I had my brothers, I'd rather take the TIF money and use it for a 63 extension or something like that for more roads. But it is hoped that this will bring jobs, this will bring more development. It's a very exciting development that's been planned there, and from all intent and purposes, it should be a go. At least what they've done in the past has proven to be very lucrative for the area. And they wanted a lot more money than that, but we did put restrictions on it. 20 million and then 10 million with restrictions that they reach certain plateaus before they're eligible for that money. So they do have to perform, and it is protected before they get the rest of the money. And we're expecting great things and further development as a result of it.
Yes, and that is a wonderful project. You know, we would all like to have, as long as we can afford it, but then we're not supposed to be able to afford it, because it's been my understanding that it is going to be negotiated as a no-risk deal with that first 10 million coming out. So if it's that, then I would be for it. Well, also, that I would also want to look at, to make sure that the impact study, which was only provided by the Steiner, that there would be input from the Voice America Shopping Center and also the Bridgewater Shopping Center, to make sure that we're not going to have a loss with those two developments. Thank you.
I believe that Steiner is one of the top developers in the nation. He has won world acclaim for his developments. If you've ever been up to the Green Navy for Easton, Columbus, you'll see what he does. And when people say, well, we don't need another mall, this is not another mall. This is a destination of shopping, offices, and residential. It's totally different. This guy is very, very, very successful. And the monies that are being put into that are actually development monies that are not to be used for other situations. They're being done like we've done so many times in this county. In development, Union Center, I remember when we did Union Center, we missed that by 90%. 90% we missed that. There's 90% more business at Union Center than was expected.
My only concern is that when you know, I understand the TIF and the whole 9 yards about that, but it's government being involved, and I always question that. Certainly, the county needs more jobs. That's how we're going to raise our budget. I do think that if you're going to make these kind of deals, you have to hold people to, you know, their feet to the fire, because there was just an article in the paper a little while ago that there were a number of companies here that had that deal and they didn't come up with the jobs that they said they would. I don't know how you fix that, so I would really be skeptical about those kind of deals.
Chuck, next question, we'll start with you. It's a two-part question. Have you ever taken money from a union? And can you briefly describe your experience in the private sector?
I have taken small checks from the FOP for support. That is a union. And as far as the private sector, I worked, you're talking about the jobs that we've held before? I worked at the Champion paper when I first got out of high school. Then I worked for ADCO Corporation, traveling around the country, installing radar systems at the early warning sites for the Air Force bases. And then from there I went into the police department, Hamilton City Police Department, where I was for 30 years.
I have not taken any union money, and I work for Division 8 ODOT. I've done turnarounds of businesses in Atlanta. I was a regional vice president of West Shell for a number of years, and then I've owned my own business for over 35 years.
I have been endorsed by the FOE. I've been endorsed by the Firemen's Union. I've been endorsed by IBEW. I've been endorsed by the and continue to work with them. I have always been known as a conciliatory person who can bring people together. And I think that's the reason that you'll see that unions tend to endorse two people in this county, one being Sheriff Rick Jones and the second one being myself, because they know that we're straight up and honest and tell them the way it is. So the fact being is that the cooperation we have, we've got to work with all kinds of people. I've been a realtor for 44 years, 41 years, my own company, and I've dealt and brought a lot of people together. And that's what I do.
I work at the hospital as a nurse. I'm not a member of a union. I've never taken any money from a union. If there was a movement to unionize the workers at the hospital, I would be against that.
I have not taken any money from a union, nor have I been endorsed by one, but I anticipate that I will be. Largely because I, like 70% of the state of Ohio, strongly believed that firefighters and police officers deserve to be the primary voice, or at least a voice, in which vest they wear, and whether the equipment that's handed to them is actually appropriate, or whether that was a deal made by a bureaucrat with a vendor without seeking input from them. And so, yeah, I anticipate that there will be some unions that will support me, because I also opposed SB5 on the basis that it made people throw out contracts with which both the union and the local government were happy and start from a zero basis on contracts. I thought that it was counterproductive for local governments to have to go through that entire process all over again. So, and I've never belonged to a union in my life, nor have I taken a dime of unemployment compensation or any other public subsidy, because I'm a fairly fiercely independent woman. Thank you.
And the last question, who are we starting with? Are we back to Jody or Chuck? Back to TC, all right. TC, do you publicly and privately support the Tea Party's core principles of fiscal responsibility, limited government, and free markets? Why or why not?
why?
I'll repeat it again. Do you publicly and privately support the Tea Party's core principles of fiscal responsibility, limited government, and free markets? Why or why not?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All four. I've been attending for over a year, and I do believe that they have provided a voice which has risen up primarily because of what has happened to us as a nation here in a very short time, that we could depend upon our elected officials to slow the spending down, so it was going to be up to the people.
I was Tea Party before there was a Tea Party. I've been a very conservative elected official. As I said, for my 4 terms in Columbus, each term I won the coveted watchdog of the Treasury Award. And I said before, we balance budgets without new taxes. So everything the Tea Party stands for, I stand for, and I join with you in all of these ideas. I would also like to say I just received a letter at home, and I'm a firm believer, Citizens for Community Values. That hasn't been brought up tonight, but is pleased to endorse Courtney Combs for Butler County Commissioner in the 2012 primary election. Communities, citizens have endorsed me, and they are a pro-family organization that supports candidates with strong stance to defend faith, family, and freedom.
Thank you,
I'm
Courtney.
very pleased to have this endorsement.
I will publicly say I'm in favor of the Tea Party core principles. Like I said, they're very similar to the Libertarian Party core principles. I think it's a great thing, and I'm very happy that there are so many people out here who are interested in the welfare of our country, and especially the surrounding areas, and very happy to be here tonight. And I've tried to attend a few meetings. I attended the original organizational meeting for Oxford and Hamilton and Bob Evans, but my schedule hasn't allowed me to participate anymore. But I look forward to participating.
This is my first time before the Tea Party, and actually this is my initial campaign appearance. However, I do support those 3 principles. They're fairly simple principles. When it comes down to it, the power of the state is derived from the consent of the governed. And what I would like all of you, each of you, to think about is, have you in fact consented to a lot of the things that have been done in your name? I'm not here talking to you on behalf of a party. I'm here talking to you as a neighbor and a citizen, and saying, I don't think that the fiscal conservatism is necessarily there. I don't think that the limited government is necessarily there. When I hear an endorsement of Citizens for Community Values, well, I'm not going to get involved in your business unless it affects the bottom line or somehow affects me. What you do in your private life really is not my concern. That's part of the reason that I align myself with the party that I do. And I think you'll find that surprisingly consistent with limited government. Thank you very much.
Yes, I do believe in the Tea Party and what they stand for, and especially if you see what's coming out of Washington with all this glacial spending. I'm glad to see that's causing them to take notice, and it's a great thing. And I too received one of those letters that Courtney's talking about. Thank you.
Thank you all. If you all could let these people know how much you appreciate what they're doing. Courtney, TC, Chuck, Jody, Daryl, it's not easy to step forward, put everything on the line, and run for public office. And usually it's not appreciated as well. So I really appreciate all of these people for what they're doing. Just to wrap up, one more thing on the Tea Party. I believe the 3 core principles are the only thing that can save America. Right now, our government is unsustainable, it's out of control, and the thing I really like best about the Tea Party, they don't care about your race, they don't care about your education, they don't care if you're part of the 99% or the 1%, they don't care about your political party. As long as you can buy into their 3 core principles, you're welcome to help them. There's a lot of great people here. I see Pam Jones was here. Ed, you learned a lot about how to work a polling booth for Pam Jones. She was amazing. And I see Matt King back there. Matt doesn't only have himself involved, he has his wife involved and all 3 of his children. I think he said, I'm taking you on the inheritance unless you all get involved. And that's what makes the Tea Party great. It's the people. It's all of you here tonight. Thank you all, and God bless you.